You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. I have lived in the goodness of God. Hey, for all my life you have been faithful. Oh, yes, you have. All my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender. I give you everything, oh Lord. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna
Hey, oh, what's this? Mavis. Me, I don't know Mavis, so. Let's go to Mavis, I won't mind you.
Oh, my friend, get
I
out
am
of
a
here.
reborn. Everything
Hey,
born fresh.
come again.
Everything is fresh. Efia, Owutua, Asamoah. Oh, yes, what could dress on the way I have girlie.
Me
Oh, who
never.
have dada? Akobo powder na.
My papa no many.
One cause I saw your fine girl too.
My papa no many.
You're a fine girl too. One cause I only how.
When the pandemic hit,
Time is up. Oh.
Where's everybody?
I'm looking for everybody.
Hey, are we in this alone?
Should I open? Wow. Respect yourself. Respect yourself.
My heart laid down and surrender and I give you everything.
for your mercy never fails me.
Why you cry?
All my days, I've been held in your hand. From the moment I wake up,
Yeah.
It's you as my camera.
So you say hello to Auntie.
Hey, here are the.
Say hello.
What is here? Obediana, obedi.
Me bad there. Me no. Say hello. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
Say hello.
Hello, doggy.
Your friend is Zoe. Zoe, say hello.
Zoe.
Say hello.
Go.
Go. Go. Go. What are you drinking, Oti? Fresh yogurt. Maybe I better me too for ya. Maybe your time is up.
If you're okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you go and do?
I
What have
was
you been
praying.
doing? Yeah, fear.
Praying to God.
Hey, Mrs. Steak.
Off air. They didn't take the carpet out.
Meet Jessica Moore. Jessica
Hi, everybody.
We thank God. We thank God for making it possible for us to gather. I mean, for us to even be alive today, to have this discussion is just by the grace and the mercies of the Lord. We are alive. You want to tell somebody that we are alive. Your sisters are here. I'm sure you've heard them chit-chatting already. We are here to just have a conversation. We are not here to impose anything on anybody. We are here to encourage you, to encourage ourselves to learn and to. We are here to support ourselves. Good afternoon, my time. Good evening to many of you, my dear sisters joining us from different parts of the world. Please share.
Get lost. Get lost. Get away.
We are taking off. Looks like we've got a lot of people join us. And because this is a very important topic, you know. And so wherever you're joining in from, I want to officially welcome you and to ask you to support this cause by sharing to your friends and your loved ones. We are live on Zoom and on Facebook. If you want the links on Zoom and Facebook, you can check on my Facebook page, and you can join us in Zoom or join us on Facebook. Today, we want to talk about gender-based violence, domestic abuse. The awareness and understanding of domestic abuse must be everyone's business. It must be everyone's business. You don't need to be in a place of authority or a place of higher regard before you speak about this issue, which has become a social menace in today's society. In our present world, sincerely, there is no subject as difficult to talk about as abuse, and more especially in the case of intimate partner violence. I don't know if it's ruled by fear or shame, but victims of these violence seem to go great lengths to keep abuse a secret. Sorry, I'll be adding people, so. You know, so it's a pressing need. It's a pressing need. People, they keep it away from their family. They keep it away from their loved ones. They keep away the truth from even those that can help them, the experts, for so many reasons known to them. But those who even someone, you know, the courage to speak up, they speak in bits. They underreport domestic abuse. They tend to hide the real facts from the therapist, you know, from their counselors and even their trusted friends and families. Often the public never knows someone is suffering until it is too late. We only get to hear about their suffering after they are dead. And that is what we want to prevent. As sisters, we want to come together and talk about what exactly is going on out there. You know, and I believe that the first step to breaking this cycle of secrecy is to give the victims the courage to speak up, to talk about their problems openly and publicly. As part of that effort, myself and my beautiful sisters here have joined our minds, our hearts, our passions together to host this panel discussion on domestic abuse, and hopefully it's going to take the whole of May. Every Saturday in May, we're going to meet here. We're going to have an appointment with the sisters here, and we're going to have a talk about domestic abuse and all its other angles. So today we're going to talk about the unspoken facts. We're going to have a frank and general discussion about abuse in our communities today as women. As women, we believe this discussion is coming at a timely manner where there's been domestic abuse issues and intimate partner violence all across social media space, with a recent one being Minister Osinachi of Nigeria, may God rest her soul, who allegedly was endured abuse from her husband and succumbed to death last year. According to statistics on domestic violence, 1 in 4 women are experiencing severe physical violence an intimate partner. Some would say, but domestic abuse happens to everyone. I had a lot of men responding and saying it happens to everyone. Why are you going to talk about just women only? Yes, we are talking about women because statistics has proven that 85% of the cases of domestic abuse are against women. For this reason, our target group is going to be the women this month. Our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our female friends. Our aim will be to learn and educate ourselves about the prevalence and signs of abuse. And also our aim is going to be to motivate or to promote or to encourage ourselves, you know, to encourage those who are being abused to speak up and to alert survivors to the options and the resources that are available unto them. So next Saturday, we're going to have a discussion which has been tagged as Left and Living, and that is going to be the survivor stories. Our sisters are going to tell us what they have encountered, what they have been through, real experiences from our own sisters. We want to share their testimonies to encourage some of us who are going through it. We believe that bringing these stories to light is very, very important. If you would also like to share your testimony with us, you can leave us some comments in the comment section, and we will get back to you after today's program. Now, on the third Saturday, of May, we're going to speak. And when I talk about the professionals, we're going to have the psychiatrists, the psychologists, we're going to have the counselors, the lawyers, everyone, every arm of abuse. We're going to have people to come talk to us about what to do, how to identify the signs, and what to do after you've been abused and how to survive. You don't have to stay in an abusive relationship and die. There are so many options that are available unto us to help us going through whatever we are going through. And the last Saturday of this month, I was talking to my sisters, abuse is in the church. Every abuser happens to be a religious person. They go to church and they sit in church with their abusers. They lift up their hands together and sing, all the songs, they worship. And when they go back home, they batter their wives. When they go back home, they batter their husband. They do every kind of thing to them. But these are people in the churches. So for that reason, we have Pastor Sarah from Kenya and Pastor Mrs. Geda Etefia from Nigeria. Join us on the last Saturday of this month to talk about the pastoral response to domestic violence. It is a packed month. It is a packed month of domestic abuse awareness and education. And I believe we would, so we can learn from one another. Build ourselves. If there's so much noise at the background, you can listen to us. And as we are also going on, if you have anything to say, you can always chip in, because this is a conversation, so you are allowed to chip in here and there. So thank you for joining us. My name is Flavia. I am Flavia.
Thank you so much, noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much noise in the background.
Okay, so it's a panel discussion. So feel free to contribute and send in your questions or your contributions. And I will yield the microphone to our sister Ifya Asamoah. Bless you all for joining.
Okay. Hello, my name is Ifya Asamoah, and I'll be your moderator for today. So basically, it's a discussion. I'm not the one who is going to do all the talking. It's a discussion, and everybody has to take part. You can chip in at any point. If I ask a question and you don't understand, you can also throw it back to us. You can explain things to us if we don't get it. This is a very sensitive topic, and I'm very happy to have all of you on board so that we discuss it. We need to help our sisters. We need to help ourselves. So thank you all for coming in. If you are here, just say hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, on Facebook Live, you can just type hello so that I know you are there and then you are participating and you are listening to us. Okay, just say something. Okay, so let's start. We are going to start with a basic question. A lot of our sisters do not even know what an abuse is. They don't even know what domestic violence is. So I throw the question to all of us. What do we understand by domestic violence? Please. You are free to talk, please.
So I would say, I'll chip in, I'll keep it rolling. The domestic abuse is a pattern of abusive behavior that usually occurs between family members, between friends, and even intimate partners, just to gain power and control, because that is what it looks like. When people are being abused, it just looks like there's a hand over you. And that is what is happening today. So abusive behavior in general is just going to be like abuse. It is not restricted to marital couples. Abuse can happen in friendship, can happen among family members, in every space of society. Abuse can happen. So domestic abuse, we would say it's an abusive behavior that occurs between human beings to gain power and control. That is what I would say.
All right, so I'll also chip in here. It actually compromises of behaviors that frighten people, like you frighten the person, you humiliate the person, you put the person through a lot of stress. For my own part, you make the person feel less of a human. And then it doesn't actually happen to one person. It doesn't have an age, it doesn't have a race, it happens to everybody. Domestic violence happens to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, it can actually happen to you. It happens to both men and women. So, despite the fact that we are taking this from the aspect of women, we also care about the men, though. It happens to them a lot. And actually, in the cases of men, it's I can say it's a bit sad because men do not talk a lot, and they tend to keep a lot of things in them. And it's actually not the best way, but today we are talking about women. So basically, that is domestic violence. Sisters, please, does anyone has anything to say? Please. Yeah, I see a lot of people on the Facebook Live. So I need to hear them talk.
It's a very sensitive topic, you know, and a lot of people, I believe, are silent because they don't know how to go about it. They don't know they are being abused, you know. But anytime somebody wants to gain an upper hand over you, it is an abuse. You know, abuse cannot only be like because the person has to hate you before you know it's an abuse. Abuse is when the person wants to gain control over you, control over your finances.
They manipulate you. They humiliate you. They hurt you. They blame you for things you know nothing about. Exactly. That's part of the abuse.
Yes, Nanaya.
Okay, so I think domestic abuse or any form of abuse, let's just move it away from, the home abuse, domestic abuse, is any form of abnormal behavior from one person to the other that restricts the other individual from operating in their normal self or operating fully. So in this case, we can break it down to physical, verbal, emotional abuse. So that if somebody is not even hitting you and they are abusing you emotionally, sort of maybe insulting you and making you feel less of a human being, that's
Hi, Oti.
Hi, Oti. Darling.
Hi. We are coming to that one. Please.
Okay.
We are coming to that type of abuse, you know.
Okay. So in general, that's generally it. Any form of abnormal behavior from one person to the other that makes them not function fully. That's what I think it is.
Great.
Okay.
So let's talk about the types of domestic abuse. That was what Oti was coming up with. So please enlighten us on some of the types of domestic abuse.
All right. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So for the types of domestic abuse, we can bring it all down to emotional, verbal, and physical. What happens normally is all three, but what people actually pay attention most to is the physical abuse. Somebody hitting you and that's a physical thing that you feel. But if somebody is also verbally abusing you in your house, for example, your husband
is
always
insulting
you, describing you a certain kind of way, bringing you down morally, and you know, I don't know, intellectually and all that. That is a form of abuse.
Oti, you know something? When you talk about this thing, it actually brings tears into my eye because the verbal abuse part of abuse is the worst kind of abuse, and I have experienced it.
Okay.
Like somebody would tell you something so painful that immediately you see their face, you remember it, And then
Exactly.
it's like he put a knife in your heart. It actually
Exactly.
hurts.
Yeah.
It's the worst kind of abuse, and the silent treatment kind, and you've not done anything to the person and he's not talking to you. It's like
That's
you don't even know the issues you have with the person.
That's emotional abuse.
This kind of abuse, the verbal and emotional one, I think is actually
The kind of
worse
worst
than
kind.
the physical
Yeah.
one. I think so.
Yes. And I think most people don't pay attention to it. They take it as it's normal. Oh, he's a man. Don't worry, he'll come around. He'll come around. But that's what they do most. Most of the friends I speak to, listening to them, this is what their husbands do to them, other than hitting them. They go cold on them, they go silence on them, they don't talk to them for weeks, into months, and nothing is happening. That's form that people need to know. That's kind of very serious.
I have 103 people joining me. Please, we want to hear your voice. Please, we want to hear your voices. So
Okay.
please, it's a discussion.
Yeah, I don't know. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hello. Yes.
I'm Ruth. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you, sis. Please talk.
Yeah. I was just listening, and
Okay.
it's very true. What I could also add to, especially the types of the domestic abuse, is myself. I'll use myself,
Yeah.
which I'm even still passing through. I'm not being beaten. I've been beaten just once by my husband, though. But before the beating, even what I've been through in the marriage for the past 15 years is more than hitting me. And it's like sometimes you will be in the house, he will even come and actually he's an Ewe, I'm a fancy. And sometimes there are so many girls he introduced to me as his niece. I later find out he was sleeping with them. They were actually his girlfriends and a whole lot. And like his family calling me sort of names, saying all things to the extent that I even gave birth to twins, and unfortunately one happens to be a cerebral palsy, and they were like, I've given birth to a wizard. A whole lot of stuff. And I think all this is an abuse because due to all this, I became so depressed to the extent that I even have to be admitted at the psychiatrist that he didn't even know, he didn't even care. So now I'm on antidepressants, antipsychotic, and he doesn't even know, he doesn't even care. To him, he said he doesn't see anything wrong. He's a man, he's the man of the house and those kind of stuff. And I was so happy when Babi told me about this because it's high time we need to talk. We need to educate the young ones that they are really coming. Because I wasn't talking because one, the brother was into politics, so I was kind of protecting. But I think no, it's high time I have to speak. I have to speak because I'm dying slowly and I have 2 girls to take care of them, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Right now, I'm in my shop. Yeah, I'm talking for my shop. And for the past 2 years, I've been in the room. So it's actually because of this program that brought me out. I was finding it difficult to access it through my phone. So I have to come to the shop to get someone's phone because I really want to talk. Because a lot is going on, seriously. And most of us are done. And there are people I met at the psychiatry home that some have really run mad. Not because they were being beaten, but they were passing through a lot. You see, your husband introducing someone, introducing someone to you as a niece, as a church member, as this, and finding out that he's actually having an affair, even on your matrimonial bed.
Oh my God.
And what is so hurting that what even ended me in the psychiatry home was one of our child was on admission at Kolebu. We needed to transfuse blood, and they were like, I have already transfused blood, so I cannot again. So I have to call the father. I called, he wasn't picking, and I said, okay, let me rush to the office. And I got to the office for me to find out a lady that actually comes to the house. I cook for, I do things for, thinking is the sister. Actually, was having an affair with her at the guest house at the workplace. And when I left the office and I came to the hospital, the child has passed out.
Wow.
So
Lord.
what is more than this? This is abuse. It's an abuse. Because
it's an emotional abuse to the highest level. I'm
Exactly.
so sorry for everything you are going through. See, I know exactly what an abuse is. So I am also a victim. So I know exactly how you
We
feel.
need to educate out there. It's not only the physical, it's not only the beating.
No. At all.
Some of us, we are not being beaten, but what we are passing through, to the extent that now, even though we are not divorced, but I feel like I can't take it anymore because he's not even ready to give me the divorce. So I have to pack out. So now I have left him. I am renting. I am staying with my kids and he's staying with his family. So it's not right.
Sad. It's really sad. It's very sad.
It's not right. So I think it's high time we need to talk for people to know what is actually happening and stop covering all these men, because I have actually covered him up for so long and he looks innocent. So even the way he is, I'm kind of like giddy kind of. So even when I talk,
even you say, people will not believe you.
Exactly.
Yeah, people will not believe you. I know exactly what you are going
to. Yes, and from day one, I have kept quiet. So now that I've decided to speak, thank God, he himself has now, I don't know whether things have started tormenting him, because he himself has started confessing and going to people to come and apologize to me. Because I even remember, I think our third child, he actually gave me money to abort it, all because he was in a serious relationship. And I told him that if he doesn't want the baby, I want the baby. And you know the funny thing, now this child is the survivor child we are having, plus the last triplet I had, I've lost two, left it one. So now I have two. And this is the same child that he gave me money to abort. And because exactly, we are married. We are married. We did engagement, wedding, we signed at court. And this, and he went around telling people that he remember he gave me money to abort that child. So he knew, but now it's the same child that now he's going around telling people I don't want him to have access to the kids. And I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to allow him to have access to the kids.
You are very brave. You are strong. I commend you on that. You are strong.
It's true. It's all this is an abuse to me, because I remember
it's the highest form of abuse. This is the abuse we are trying to stop. The one that can actually kill you.
Seriously, had it not been God that I was fortunate to surround around good people, big people, doctors, friends. I tried committing suicide several times at a point, because I remember this, our last child. When I was pregnant, I didn't even know. And he said he wanted to take the first child to his hometown. He's from Togo. And I said, no, I'll not allow him to take that child to Togo. Before he can have access, he needs to pay, because that child was preterm. All the bills, everything. And even when Kolebu people call him that the way I'm bleeding, they have to do CS to bring the baby out. So he should come so that you come and sign. He told them that he knew he gave me money to abort that pregnancy. So he doesn't have any pregnancy anywhere to come and sign paper. So a doctor then was an house officer have to stand in and risk his license and sign before the baby was saved. So I've told him that till he pays me that money, he can never have access. Then he got annoyed. That was the very first time he raised his hand on me. That no matter what, so far as he gave me the money and I didn't abort the child is his. If I should have aborted the child, fine. But as far as I didn't abort it, I thought he was joking before I realized, I fell and I started bleeding. And I have to spend 8 months in Kolebu bleeding. He never stepped foot there.
Ruth, Ruth, we thank you so much for what you're sharing with us. It's emotional. I've got goosebumps all around me, you know. But we want to leave a little of the details for the third Saturday, no, for next week Saturday, because we're going to have people share their experiences uninterrupted. Okay. I mean, we know that you and so many other people are going through what you're going through. I want to ask you, you're still married to him, right? And I wouldn't want to give us so much of everything that's going on because we want to leave it for next week. But you're still married to him, aren't you?
Yeah, we have not divorced, but we don't stay together for the past 3 years.
Okay, so you are separated.
Yeah.
You are separated. Why are you still together? Why are you still married? What is still keeping you in the marriage?
Because my uncle, actually I've lost my parents. So I went to tell my uncle this is happening, and anytime he meets with my uncles, he gives them money. So they refuse to sit down and so even address the issue. They all goes like, you know, you don't have anybody. You know, you don't have. Actually, I had accidents with my family. So I lost my.
Hello, Ruth.
Yeah.
Hold on for me. So, Barbie, this brings me to the question, why is it hard for abused women to seek help? You see where she's coming from. It brings us to this question. So let's go on with that. We are listening.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, please talk.
Hi, this is Dorothy. I'm Abawatri. So my thing, I know I'm listening to Ruth, and just as she said, just as the question that you just asked, it's unfortunate our culture has made it impossible for women to live abuse. Because you are in a relationship, you're going through it, even if it's not, the person's not physically putting their hands on you, you go through it in terms of verbal abuse. They insult you from head to toe, especially if you come from a family that is now a little like endowed. The family takes advantage of you, insult you, family members and all that. But our culture has made it such that if you say anything about divorce, it's just you're bringing the shame to the family, you're bringing shame to the church, you're bringing shame to all this and all that. And so women are going through a lot. And that's just as Ruth was saying, there's so many women in the psych unit that are going through not because of anything, but because of the abuse, emotional abuse that they are going home. And I personally have worked in a psych hospital, and I see women, and when you converse with them, it's not like they have something. It's not anything mental. It's just the abuse that they've gone through, such that they can't even talk to anyone. And this is what society has made women so that we can't even voice out when we're going through something. We can't even talk because. And coming from us as Africans, you bring shame to the family, you bring disgrace to the family, you bring this to the church. Not thinking about what the woman is doing. To have had somebody talk to me that as a Christian, you're not supposed to divorce until there's adultery and all that. But here's the case that you know you're dying because your husband or your wife. I mean, abuse can be either way. It's abusing you verbally, physically, emotionally. Whatever it is that they abuse, that any form of abuse that they are meting on you. So it's about time we communicate to the whole community, not just individual, but like it's like a way we can educate ourselves, educate our parents, the older generation that people are going through abuse. They have to talk. If it's divorce that will save lives of people, it's okay. I mean, it's not okay for them to stay in a relationship that they are dying slowly. People have committed suicide because nobody listens to them. People have committed suicide because nobody is hearing them because it's a shame. Yeah.
Hello, Abba.
Yes.
I really want you to come live next week too. I really like what you are saying. I love where you are going. Please come on live next week.
All right.
We need to hear more of this, please. Please, I would love you to come, okay? And I love that. We will be doing this next week.
So we want to go back to Ruth. I want to still find out from Ruth. You know, as Abba has said, because cultural reasons, people are still living in. There's been religious reasons, people are still staying in abuse or in abuse relationships. You know, so I want to ask Ruth herself, what exact? Okay, well, she has said that her family people don't want to sit down, right? If her family people don't want to sit down, Ruth, what are you doing about it? Because mentally you're not okay now. Psychologically, you're not okay now. Emotionally, you're not okay now. And you're still, I don't know, it's also looking because you understand, or you made us understand that he doesn't want to care for the child because he says the child is the one he asked you to. Because you did not abort, as far as he's concerned, the child is dead to him. That is something else. That is crazy. What are you doing yourself since your family do it? Because you see, with abuse, the abuser is actually the one that feels going on. The abuser is the one that feels what is going on. We sitting behind, we can just talk, we can just encourage, we can just motivate, but we cannot do the moving out for you. I want to find out from you, Betty. Your story is so touching and it's so real out there. What are you doing yourself? Are you financially stable yourself? Are you working? What is keeping you? Why are you having to wait on your family members to sit down and deliberate before you divorce him? Because at this point, you waited for 3 years.
Yes, I don't think he actually cares. The man doesn't actually care about you.
He's moved on.
He doesn't care.
He's moved on because he says that as far as he's concerned,
it's a long time
to terminate that pregnancy, but you didn't terminate it. You still have it there. You still have the child. So anytime the man looks at the child, he looks at the child have been dead by now, and you're still stuck with him. Family members said they're not going to let you. I mean, anybody on the platform who wants to say something, you're welcome to say something. But Betty, I want to know, Ruth, I want to know, why are you still married? Is it because you love being married? Is it because of the ring? Is it because of what people are going to say that you're doing?
I've even removed the ring. I removed the ring 2016. Since 2016, I've not even what I gave it to you. I've thrown it on him. But that very moment he raised his hand on me, that very night I gave his ring to him. But as I was saying, the whole thing is he has actually, I don't know whether it's true. He when I sent an issue to my family, he went there, he said he has regrets, he don't know what came over him. So now it's me that I'm not allowing him get access to the kids to take off. And I told them that, okay, fine. For me, I won't move to come and stay with him again. All I want is I had wanted a divorce. And he said he's not going to give me that divorce over his dead body, 1. And then 2, I've been through a lot. So I was actually a health assistant. I work as a health assistant and home care, take care of sick people in the house. But when all this drama started from 2011, I started losing control of myself and sometimes even taking poison myself and other stuff. So based on that, the agency stopped working with me because they said they are afraid. So as soon as I started working, my finances started shaking. And for the past 2 years, sometimes he sends like 200, sometimes he sends something. So at times, whenever he send that money, I really need it sometimes for the kids. Sometimes the kids can be in the house for a whole week. They won't go to school because I don't have money. So these are the things. And I have tried talking to my aunties, my uncle. I want someone who is a Ruth, divorce, come, who take you, come and stay home, put yourself together, recover, go out there and start life again. I am not getting that. I am not getting that support. And it's like, I don't even know. And he said he won't give me the divorce over his dead body.
Ruth. So for the past 2 years, you've not been doing anything, right?
No, I actually have a shop. But anytime, I'm always having this, I have had this severe headache for the past 3 years that I can't stand the sun. So if I'm not in the house, I'm at the hospital. So, and I'm not working for the past 3 years. So it's people that have been supporting me, even maybe your sister Dr. Nadole. They've all been supportive. Every month, all of them, they will send me something. I'll put it together. Then we use this too. That's what I'm surviving on. People supporting me small till. Because the drugs, I'm on antipsychotic and antidepressants, and it always makes me drowsy. It always makes me sleeping. So now I can't do much. So it's not easy, but everything will be fine. Everything will be fine soon.
Everything is going to be fine, but you also have to take a bold step. You are not married to him. I think the guy actually knows that he's not married to you. He doesn't care about you. So I think you should sit down with your family, make them aware that you don't want to be in this marriage. There should be a way that the guy will give you a divorce. He's just wasting your time. He doesn't want to be there. He will not leave you to go. He's going to make your life miserable if you don't start working on it now. You have been through a lot. You have been through a lot.
Myself, I want to. My psychiatric and my psychologist have assured me that I'm getting better. So myself, I want to be on my feet, start working, start earning money for myself. Then I will even involve family. It was an court wedding, so I will just get a lawyer. Then he will be there. That's what I'm planning to do. But for now, and he's also, my uncle said, that if I go ahead and stop the marriage, then he's going to stop the support. He's supporting the. It's not much.
Is it even support? Is it even support? What is it?
Sometimes he will send us 200 cedis, sometimes 500, sometimes 100 cedis.
Well,
and sometimes
What are you going to do in Accra with all this?
yes, I'm listening to what the lady's saying, and then I think that if she gets the bold step to go to court to get the marriage annulled, the guy is going to have to take care of the children, because Ghana law will give him, he has to take care of the children. He cannot say he won't take care of the children.
Yeah,
that one is child support. Yes, he will pay maintenance.
Yes.
He will pay maintenance. That one, and then the children will not be given to him. Just that, make sure he's not going to sell a story that you are not capable of taking care of the children. But he's going to pay maintenance for the children. He's going to pay rent for where they live. He's going to pay their clothing and their feeding fee. That's guaranteed. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That is what he will do.
Family will always hold you back. Family is going to hold you back.
Family is always going to tell you stories, and that's not their life. That's your life. So don't listen to them.
A lot of people are dying in marriage because of family. Mothers, uncles. Your
uncle that is telling you that, how much does he give you and the children for support?
100 cedis a month. I mean, what's it going to do in Accra? Oh, the uncle gives nothing. The husband, like you said, 100 Ghana cedis a month, And unfortunately, as Nanaya has said, I support her 100%. He is going to pay you child support. He is going to pay you maintenance. He will pay. So you need to step out. Yes.
He doesn't have a dime. No, it's not about whether he has a dime or not. It's the court, and you have to fulfill his thing. You have to do it. So don't sit there and say that he doesn't have a dime. He will find the money. Because why the hell
who asked him to give birth?
You understand? You bring kids to the world and you say you don't have a dime.
He will.
He will make you pay. And if you don't pay, you go behind bars. That is the law. He will have to take care of the children.
It's responsibility.
If he has to go and take loans for that, he will have to do it. He cannot leave it all on you. No, he will pay for it.
So Ruth, we will talk to you. We will talk to you after this service. We know you're coming on next week as well to tell the whole story again. But we will talk to you because we know that you need health support and you need legal support as well. And I'm glad that with the health support, you said Dr. Na is supporting you. Yes. So with the legal support, we are also going to assist you. We have Dr. Eva Quay. She's also going to help you. So I'm going to communicate with you right after this program, and we're going to see how best we can also support you out of it. We are meant to be each other's keeper. We have to do the stigmatization thing as women. We're very passionate about women. Women are make or break you. I want to support ourselves. Call you after this session. We are not saying that don't chip in if you have to chip in. Yeah, you can chip in, but we are going to call you and we are going to support you out of what you're going through. Okay? Be strong. Be strong. Be strong. I know you're
actually a very strong woman for all that she's been through. She's actually a strong woman. Like, she's a strong woman.
So I want to ask this question to all of us. Do abusers show potential warning signs? Let's show warning signs, because sometimes you're going to get married to somebody. You're marrying somebody that for the past 20 years, you don't know nothing about the person. You don't know where the person has been, what the person has engaged himself or herself in, and you're going to marry that person. You are going into marriage with the assurance that, oh, for better, for worse, everything is going to work out well, but unfortunately, it doesn't turn out well. And when that happens, you sit back and you realize that, you get some feedback on how the person used to behave before you got married and what made you some signs that you probably did not pay attention to. So I want to ask all of us, what are some of the signs? What are some of the signs, the potential signs? If you're on Facebook and you want to join us on Zoom so that your voice can be heard too, please, you can join us on Zoom so that you can speak for us to hear. Because on Facebook, you are just typing and I can't read what everybody is saying. So if you want to join us on Zoom, please join us on Zoom. We want to know some of the potential warning signs. What are some of the potential warning signs of an abuser?
From my own experience, I saw a lot of anger, like every time, and every little thing, the person will get angry, like he's so aggressive. But I ignored it. And I went on and on and on and on. So if I had taken that thing seriously, maybe it wouldn't have led to all the things that it led to. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So
can you please mute yourself, please?
It's too much noise.
Because if I mute you from here, it might be difficult to unmute yourself. And I think I would have to do it. Sorry, but I have to mute. Okay, so some of the potential warning signs, Oti, you've been married before. I mean, all of us. You've been married before. And did you personally see any signs in your partner having the potential of being an abuser?
Okay, he didn't show signs of abusiveness or verbal abuse or physical abuse. But what I can remember that I should have paid attention was the fact that he didn't want me to talk to anybody. He didn't want me to talk to any guy. He felt like if you're speaking to this person, that means that this person is after you and you have a lot of male friends and all these things. But honestly, I didn't think that was going to be a problem. But that was the main problem. So some way, somehow, they show signs. If you are looking for the major things, maybe they won't show the major things, but the little things is there. He doesn't want you to talk to this person, don't talk to this person, don't talk to this person. And then that is their insecurity that is going to blow up one day, and that's going to turn into major abusive traits. So I think it's there. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
It's there.
And Auntie, I'll be me to what I saw and I should have paid attention to, and I refused, and now it's reflecting is I remember one day I went to visit him and he was so furious and he beat this girl up. And when I asked him, he said, oh, he's one of the brothers, brothers. But later, people were telling me it's the girlfriend. But I asked him, and that night, the way he yelled at me, but I kept quiet, that he and other people, whom am I supposed to listen? But I still didn't even pay attention to all that. And I think that was a sign that I should have really paid attention to. And he was kind of family man. He's a family person. Because I remember when we were dating, and sometimes I even need something, he would tell me he has given it to his sister, so I should go for it. And I'll also go for it.
These little signs that we ignore. That's what I think about all the abuse. All right. So let's move on.
You see, some of these abusers, they are known for their sweet talking at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah,
as Oti said, he was quiet. you know, so, you know, some of them are there. We are literally like see that this person is going to be an abusive person, okay? Because right from the word go, the person does not respect your parents, does not respect your privacy. The person does not, you know, shouts at you at every little thing. The person insults you whenever he gets the opportunity. You know, all these little signs are like obvious signs, but there are some signs that are not obvious. There are some signs that you have to be a wise person to probably deduce from. And number one, I've talked to some people after this flyer came out. I got some people who actually spoke with me, and you know, some of them are not working, but before they got married, they were working. The abuser makes it look like I'm going to look after you when I get married. You don't. I'm doing everything. You know, you just have to just be at home and look after the kids. Two, the abuser can relocate your position where you are geographically. The person is going to move you away from there to another place so that he or she can have the potential or to have the opportunity to have you to himself. So when you're not working and you don't have family around you, you have no other choice than to stick this abuser because you feel like, where am I going to go next? But these are some of the signs that some of our sisters need to know. I see somebody, Petra is saying they are possessive. Yes. So we need to be wise as women. If you're all, we need to be, you know, when I was growing up, my pastor used to say, I'm taking this into the religious side. My pastor used to say, don't go get a partner, do whatever you want to do with the person before you come to us and tell us that, oh, what is God saying about it? What do you mean what is God saying about it? You've committed yourself in the relationship. You've done everything. Even today, people sit at the backyard and the next minute they are divorced. Gone are the days where the families used to sit down, the families used to investigate people, you know, and the church would pray and find out, because prayer answers all. I trust me, God is not limited. He is, let me. God is not limited. He is not limited when he needs to speak. He is not limited concerning your situation. Every little detail of our lives are of a concern to God. So you'd realize that if you can pray about somebody, God can reveal the person to you. God can reveal the person to you. But when God reveals the person to you, what are you going to do about it? Because I am saying that in my case, before I got married to my first husband, I am divorced. Yes, a lot of people don't know about it. I went through my own situation, my own time, you know, but I sat down when I came out of that marriage. I had to like reflect. I had to reflect on what went wrong. I sat down and I realized that actually God showed me certain things, because in the dream, I used to dream and see him. I used to see him with so many women, you know, all around. I used to see so many women pulling him. And even at a point, I realized that I think it was even in my wedding time, in my dreams, I saw myself sitting at the back and I saw him walking somebody down the aisle, you know, and I thought it was a break and loose issue. I thought it was something that the devil wants to, you know, like attack, or the devil wants to do something. So let me just arise and pray. But I want to believe that God was actually talking to me. God was telling me something, you know, about the person, because every little detail of our lives matters to God, you know, and we cannot see some aspect of some people. It's only God, because Bible says that the deep things and the secret things of the world, it is God that makes it manifest. You know, he shows it to us. So God can actually talk to us. God can let us know what is going on with the person we are associating ourselves with. If he shows you and you deal with it, fine. You don't deal with it, you go inside and you battle it out. But if you don't want to battle it, you have to listen to God. And that is what our sisters are not doing. Our women need to empower ourselves. I believe it. You know, we are going to, but I want to say God still talks. God talks about every details of our lives. He's the only one that can actually let you know the intent of somebody you're going to get married to. don't get married first and try to now start sitting down and suffer. I mean, he's a God of second chance. He forgives. He keeps us. But before we make it, religiously conscious, let us be God conscious. Let us allow God to speak to us, you know, and I believe that it will work. Somebody has their hand up.
Yeah, hi. My name is Claret.
Claret.
How are you? Yeah, I just got in and I had I was like, let me just sit back and listen to everyone else talk. But we don't help each other when we do that, you know. If God give you a chance to be in this platform, obviously because you have a plus to share with someone. And I wanted to make a point on marriage itself to begin with. A lot of us, like I grew up in the US, but I have African parents, and a lot of our African parents, and I hope all of us mother, if we do have children, when it comes to marriage, they see it like the work, like gold.
Yeah.
So if you see marriage is gold, so you pushing your child to marry to someone, or even not even our parents, ourselves, when we see marriage, we're like, oh my God, this is it. That's not it. You don't want to get married just because it's marriage. You don't want to get married just because a lot of parents too, I've experienced in myself, would be like, oh, you will grow to love him if you don't love him. Oh, the love will come. What do you mean will love will come? You marry someone you love. First of all, marriage has a lot of ups and downs, but the main issue I think is with the African people or parents in general. When they hear marriage, oh my God, because for them it's honor. Like I'm being honored, my child being married, but in what price? You know, we have to pay attention to as parents. First of all, lay the main basics on our children, what marriage is, what comes with the marriage. And then when they get into that age, not to just rush in because they're marrying, go to counselor, seek your pastor, because it's very important. Like our sister was saying that God will show you things and you're ignoring it. Oh, that's not it. That just the enemy because he doesn't want me to get married. Or that's just people because this and that. No, it could be that depending on your level of spirituality. But God is telling you something, and you have to. We're afraid of what our sister said. Well, I just thought that was the enemy, and it was a breaking point for her. So she could have there was no way she was gonna break her marriage because she was already at the point of being married. But what we're really supposed to be doing is break that marriage. Take the time to go see God, what is this that you're showing me before you put your foot in? A lot of us think that we were going to handle it when we get there. No. And even worse, even if a man of God sees something about it, God speaks the Bible says that we prophesy as a part, we see a part. Only God knows the whole picture. So what you're getting in yourself with is actually not even like the whole thing yet. So we have to be very careful. Just because you've been single for 20 years, whatever year it is, and somebody just showed up and happened to be Mr. Right in playing their cards right in every part, and you think that's it because you're old or because you're in the place where you're supposed to get married, because you're getting pressure from your family, and you go get yourself in marriage. We have to know marriage can either break you or make you. Marriage could kill you. Some people, they send him in the marriage to go die. Because it's not no game. Or the love thing you play outside before, that's a representative. That's not a person that you're going to go wake up next to every day. You will see new character. You will see new behavior. You will see new stuff. So we have to, me, my sisters, the one thing I would say, if God, the Holy Spirit is looking into me, stop looking at a marriage. Parents, stop saying a marriage and you're running into it. No. Look what's in there. It's a person prayerful, because two equal yoke is not going to work. And if you're getting in there, you're going to be doing a lot of prayers and breaking and losing and all that stuff. Are you ready to do that? If you're ready to do that, then go ahead. But let's just stop following because it's a marriage and now we should just go in. Let's seek God first. Marriage is not the end of the world. It's not a trophy. It's not.
It's not
God is the way. It's not. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. That was an amazing point. Thank you very much.
Always amazing with Claret.
Thank you, sis. That was amazing. Yeah.
And I want to add, in addition to what she said, we've taken marriages as World Cup. Yes. A lot of people, it's their final destination, it's their final goal, it's their final mark to know that they have arrived and they have succeeded. In as much as we are saying all this, I want to state that we are not saying marriages are not good. good marriages, they still exist. There's still a lot of input to achieve like a desirable break. But I mean, yes, it takes forgiveness, it takes patience, it takes trust. But we have to know that if it is not working, it's not working. You don't have to stay in it because society says you have to be married at all costs. You don't have to stay in it because your family says you have to be in it at all costs. And you know, some of our sisters are too, like our religious sisters are over prayerful. They think that staying inside the marriage, you know, where you're being battered, you're going through a lot of emotional trauma, you're going through physical abuse, everything. They think that they have to stay inside and pray for God to work it out. You see, you have to step out and work it out. You need to step out, take a step out first, my sister, take it out. I mean, this is for somebody that is already inside a marriage. Okay, we are talking about marriage, somebody who is already in. You have to step out, take a step out and see your next step. See what you're going to. When you take a step back, you see things clearly. You see things brighter than when you are inside. So please, as I'm saying, and mothers, in fact, some of the mothers are more like encouraging. Some of our other mothers too, when you pack your stuff and you go, they push you back inside. You know, I have got lists, people that have talked to me. You know, you pack your things to your mom's place and they push you out. They say, go back. But that is not what it's supposed to be. But you have to step out. Getting married because of their friends. That's what somebody's saying. Yes, people are getting married for so many reasons. But if you marry and it works for you, praise God. If you marry and it's not working, you don't have to keep up appearances. You do not have, because marriage is not a ticket to heaven. It has never been a ticket to heaven. God is, when you get to the mercy seat of God, he's not going to say, because he got married, come in. You need purpose. You need to define your purpose. And when you define your purpose as a woman and you know what you are about, you know who to kick out and who to allow into your space. But because we do not have, we not define our own purposes as women, we accept and we endure anything. You know, so as women, as sisters, we need to define our purpose as well. If it is not working, get out. Marriage has not taken anybody to heaven. It hasn't taken anybody to hell. You know, God is a loving Father. God is a forgiving Father. God does not condone abuse. God does not condone. He's a loving Father. He's a peaceful Father. If you are not in a peaceful, serene marriages, are meant to be, I mean, like a picture of God and the bridegroom, as they say, as the bride, you know, and the rest. It's meant to be peaceful. It's meant to be love, and it's meant to be enjoying. If you are not experiencing any of these things, my sister, get out. That's what I want to say. Get out. Right. Let me read some comments here. I have a comment from Galaxy S9. I think we as women need to empower ourselves and have our own money. In fact, I think it's not only about money, just purpose. You might define your purpose, you know, you don't need money. I mean, money is very important, yes, so that you can survive. But even if you don't have money, as a woman, get out if you have to get out. Define your purpose and stick to it. We need to be prayerful as the enemy is really attacking marriages, and we need to stand up and speak out. I totally agree, the enemy is attacking. If you pray and God is not doing anything about it, move out. Maybe God is actually helping you. God is actually telling you something, because you see, sometimes he said that where two or three, I mean, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Personally, I am of the opinion that what if it wasn't God that actually joined you together? Because sometimes God did not join you yourself together. So you have to. The fact that you said God joined you together doesn't mean that God also wants you to be beaten. God wants you to be emotionally stricken down. It is not possible. I have Ruby's hand up. Yes, Ruby.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, so I also want to just put my little input in as well. I was also thinking from the point of, have we thought about it as it being like a evil programming for our lives? Because sometimes the enemy can program us to make big mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I understand the point where she's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. I
Hello.
think I understand where she's coming from. Most of the times, what I realized in my first marriage was that, first of all, I didn't ask God about it. Okay. So if the enemy can also put somebody in your life just to mess you up. And then at the point where I wanted to get out and the things had become ugly, and I was praying to God, and it seemed like God was not minding me. He was not working it out. Then I knew it was time for me to move, because that's the time I realized that God didn't put this together for me. No, he did not. Because God will never put you in a situation where you'll be hurt or in a situation where it will run you down. God will not do that. So if God is pulling you away from something, you just have to allow God to pull you away from something. And what Barbie said, when we are going to get married, we need to ask God to choose our partners. We need to do that. We have to do that, because only God knows somebody in totality. We do not know. So before you go into any marriage, you need to seek God's counsel first before you move. Because the moment, if you see, for example, my situation is very, very serious, because if at the time God didn't pull me out of that situation for 4 years, I don't know where I'll be by now. Seriously, if God didn't pull me out, that makes me know that he didn't put me there. Because God is not somebody who destroys marriages. No, he does not do that. But at the point where the enemy is taking over, God will always take his children out of the situation. That is what I believe. So we need to always ask God first before we move into any marriage. And then, as Baba said, if God is showing you the signs, you better pay attention.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention.
And I was also thinking, like, it could be, like a bloodline pattern as well too. Like people, you could look in your bloodline and see, okay, every woman in this family always have this kind of man, or they get married and these same things keep happening. You know what I mean? Like, so that could be, so it could be something that has to be broken from you, because it's not necessarily you making those choices. It's already like in the works, even before you know it.
In the family.
That's also another topic, a very broad topic that we'll talk about another time, because that I believe is sort of something that is seeded in the family, and that you need to break away from. Sometimes some people's bloodline carry certain curses that is of no fault of yours. It has been sown already. But once you're a child of God, you need to pray and then get yourself out of it. And God will always do that for you. Most people do not know. Most people just sit in some kind of situation and they think it's normal, but 100% it's not even normal. Sometimes it's purely spiritual, and then you will need to find your feet and find God and run to God, and then let God take you out of the situation. So that point too is valid. That point too is there.
And also, one last point I'd like to make is also, you have to check yourself as a woman. Some people, you might not be in the best as far as your self-esteem. You don't feel too good about yourself, like self-esteem. So anything that comes to you, you feel like, oh, okay, that's the best you can do. So you end up settling for something that's not even supposed to be something you tolerate at all, because you don't really feel good about yourself as a human being.
That is very good. That's very true. So, like with a bloodline pattern, I mean, we are all conversing as ladies, as sisters. So sometimes when we notice that this is what is happening in my family, maybe my elder sisters that are ahead of me, even my brothers who are ahead of me, have gone through it and this is what they're going through. And you look at it and everybody is the same thing. And single, you don't have to go inside before you test the waters, whether this bloodline pattern also is going to happen to me or not. You have to make sure to pray to break certain things before you get inside, because there are some families that you even get inside side and it already exists. So by virtue of bloodline, by virtue of you marrying the person alone, all their things are transmitted into your blood system. So as sisters, I want to also encourage that we pray before. You see, every time I think I need a marriage counselor at this particular place. There was this point that I said, when we are getting married, what I'm interested in most especially is medical results, to see whether you don't have sickness inside you. Okay, I don't have disease, I don't have sickness. How about the bloodline pattern that exists in my family? So I believe that before we get into marriage, those sisters here who are already like counselors and religious counselors, churches and the rest, why don't we also have a time where we actually undergo what do you call it? We actually undergo what do you call it? Deliverance
spiritual
service.
scanning.
Yes, spiritual, yes, or deliverance services for our people who are going to get married, us who are going to get married, because sometimes you don't even know what's going on. To be blind of them focusing, instead of them focusing on just the medical reports, can they do a spiritual report as well? What do we say about that?
Yeah, I think that makes sense because the spiritual is even more important than the physical.
Yeah, that's Flavia. That's why I said prayers. We need prayers. You know, the devil is really attacking marriages seriously. All jokes aside, he knows that. You know, there's a verse in the Bible. It says, "Can two people agree if they don't? Can two people work together if they don't agree?" He knows that when two people are meant to be together, the things they can accomplish, one person cannot do it. So he always tries to break the home. And normally he starts with the weaker vessel. So if he realizes that the man is the weakest, he starts with the man. If he sees that it is the woman who is the weakest, he starts with the woman. Now, when he gets the head of the family or he gets the weakest part, it's likely the weaker one will contaminate the other one, and then it descends to the kids. So as women, we need to always pray for our marriage. Me, for instance, now I have started praying for my daughters because I don't know things I am hearing. There are stories you hear and you wonder, are these the same people who were dating and they were all over the place? They were all over. Sometimes when people tell me they are married, I tell them, please, I came to your wedding. No, don't come and tell me stories, because when I don't have time for you know what? People are going through a whole lot. And I keep telling people, you need to wake up and pray. For the prayers, don't think. And you know when the Bible said, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. It is not only outsiders, it is even we, the couples. Because the devil can use you as the woman to break your marriage. The devil can use the man to break the marriage. And you will be asked one day. So you need to make sure you are standing right before God. You are standing right before your husband. The man is also standing right before God. So once the two of you are on a level, the devil can't penetrate. But once one becomes weaker, it starts to penetrate, and then things starts to go off. So me, I believe that, in as much we all say, if it's not working, you need to go out. If it's true, if it's not working, my sister, find somewhere, run away and go. But if you are going, make sure where you are going is even better than where you are, because some people will leave and they'll go, and then the ones you are going is even worse than where you are coming from. So better, and they'll tell you, what's now her? She gets it. So we need to be extra careful when it comes to that one. And then I was saying, now what I have seen about the devil is making men irresponsible in the house. Men are becoming irresponsible. They don't want to take up responsibilities. They want the women to do everything. And now when you tend to talk, they start complaining. I have a friend who keeps telling me, anytime she asks her husband for money for the kids, the husband will pick up fights. Once she gets money to do whatever she has to do, the husband becomes nice. I tell them, he's just refusing it. And it's not one person. So many people are complaining about the irresponsibilities of men. So now, and then when I came in, I heard you people talking about the emotional abuse and stuff. You know what? The worst these men will tell you, if you don't hold your heart, in fact, if you have a gun, you even shoot them straight away. Because they tell you worse, and then you be there and then you be shaking. I have a colleague who called me once and said, he told his husband, they were just playing, said, you know, there's 2 kids that doesn't look like you, they all look like me. And then the comments the husband made, everybody knows you're a prostitute. What is that? So if the kids don't look like you and they look like your wife, are you not 2 people? It's not 50-50. So if it doesn't look like the dad, it will look like the mom. And look at the comments that she wept the whole night, and I had to speak to this girl for hours. You see, so we need to be extra careful. And then with the bloodline and then the family things we are talking about, it's true. Some families, they don't marry. They exchange their marriage for children. Some exchange their wealth for fame. Some exchange. So there are so many things going. We Africans, we are unfortunate. You see, it's not nice. Once the whites are using theirs to do better things, we are using ours for unnecessary things.
Distraction.
So with the prayers, we need to pray. But if you think you've prayed enough and it's not working, you need to leave. If you don't have transportation, call me, I'll get you some.
Baby, can I say something?
Of course.
Yeah, so talking about praying and all that, I think as you talked about the bloodline, I think one thing that we also kind of like put a blind eye to the fact that we hear people tell us, this family and this family, this, and we tend to put a blind eye to it because we are so deep into love that we don't even hear what people are saying and see things that we see. God, as you said, God shows us so many things. You know, now thanks to social media, you can really like see certain people, the kind of stuff that they post. And I always tell people when I do somebody, just be all blah, blah, blah. The little things like finances, like how the person will talk to you. They are like question them on certain things. We don't, because the society is questioning us. We're told get married, you are told this get married. So we as soon as we miss somebody, we just let me go get married and tend to forget about the signs that we have to say. In our dreams, God talks to us. In certain sense, through people, God will talk to us concerning the person that we are dating and all that. But we tend to put a blind eye to it. And of course, if you're in a relationship, if you've not even gotten to that marriage place yet, start praying with your partner, start praying with the person that you want to go be together with. If it's not God's fault, then you step out, going in and being abused. If you start seeing signs, end the relationship is better than going into it and being abused. And so please, as we advise ourselves here, we advise our friends, our family, our children, this person, our children over here. Don't just go into a relationship thinking that I'm going to have to get married, or it's my friends are good, so let me go up. Society is pressuring to getting married. And when you see the signs, please step back. It's better to step back when you're in the relationship and get married.
Yeah. Prevention is better than cure.
Being abused. This is what I have to say. Let's step back once we're dating. Don't let it all be like blah, blah, blah. Let's open our eyes. As we are praying, we are watching also. We watch, we pray also.
Watch and pray. So this leads me to my next question. Why do victims return? Why do they return? You know, I want to issue a disclaimer over here. We are not here to tell you to leave your marriages. No, we are not here to tell you that at the little incidents that happens in your marriage, you should leave. No, we are here as sisters to let you understand that if you are being abused, it is a domestic violence conversation. If you are being abused, take a step back and recycle yourself, know your next movement. That is what we are trying to say today. We are saying that if you encounter abuse, do not stay in there. So we are not saying that when he, he goes out there, just leave him. When you know what you're going through. But if you are abused, you're going through something you don't like, take a step back and let him appreciate you. Sometimes some of us women, we are still inside because we are accepting what is being done to us. There is no barrier around our lives. We have allowed people, we don't feel good about ourselves, as somebody already said, the man is beating you up, the man is tearing you apart. He's not going to change. He's not going to change. He plans to change because you have allowed him. So I want to ask, why do we still allow ourselves to be abused, or why do we allow ourselves to return into an abusive relationship? Please, the floor is open.
I think, like I said, sometimes during the whole relationship, you've been so programmed, like, the words they tell you, they'll strip you of your own self-worth. So even when it's like, in psychology, they say programming. You've been programmed that this is the best you can do. So even when you get your freedom, you're still, in a way, conditioned to feel like that's the best for you. So it's a psychological mindset that they have brainwashed you to think that you can't do anything by yourself. So even when you get your freedom, you still want to come back to your master, so to say, because that's what you're used to.
Yeah, you're used to that. You want to come back to your master. Nice. Yes, my sisters, Nanaya. Why do you think people go back?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so most women go stay in the abusive relationship, or they go back is mainly because of lack of support. They don't get the support that they need, or they themselves don't have a plan B before they step out there. Some people don't plan their life after they are working out. They just work out. And then, in our society too, people don't even offer help. Nobody's going to say, come and live with me till you are okay, or let me help you because you don't have money now. Like our society doesn't support that. So most people will leave and go back to their families. Their families will talk them back into it. Oh, just go back and stay there. It will get better. We'll talk to him. And the man too, knowing that you will come back, pretends that they've changed, and you believe that lie. You go back there, and then the abuse continues. That's what happens. Lack of preparation and a lack of support. I think that is it.
Absolutely. Thank you all, sisters, for joining us, for encouraging one another. That is what we are meant to do, to encourage one another. I have a question here. Some of us, we prayed, but we are still victims. What do we do? You prayed and you are still victims. You move on. You moved on. I won't say you didn't pray too much. Maybe you didn't pray too much. Yes. You move on. You prayed. Step aside, because somebody said from frying pan to fire. Yes. Step aside and pray. Ask God, what is he saying? Communicate with the heavens. Communicate with God. Even in our loneliest seasons, God is still closer to us than a brother. Than to somebody. I believe you should speak with God. You prayed, you are still a victim. Continue to talk to God. But if you are a victim and you are still victimized, step out. Please, anyone wants to help her answer this question? Some of us prayed, but we are still victims. So please, what do we do?
You leave. You go. You leave. You leave the marriage and go and pray more. Pray. Like just like what she said. You leave and go and pray about it. Because you can't be praying and still be going through the same thing. You can actually die by praying. I think that was what the woman was doing, Osinachi was doing, praying and was still in it. So step aside and go and pray. Seek the face of the Lord.
Okay.
And then you take it from there.
Yeah, I want to encourage us, because a good friend, a good person starts within ourselves. What our sister say before the sister speaking, she says lack of support. A lot of us, like, we have friends in our lives, and when you come up to, you needing help, you needed to get out, that friend is not there. We have to be careful. Now that you're not in that situation, I want to make 2 points. Pay attention to who is around you, because some friends are in your life to keep you bondage in a situation that you're in. Some are in your life to be a destiny friend. Yeah, let me explain. Some friends are like there when you need help, like the sister was saying, they don't have nowhere to go. They don't have nobody to trust to, because they feel like if they go to this friend house, the friend will talk about that. They will bring their documents about, what they're going through to everybody else. And they're afraid of that. Family members do the same thing. So I want to encourage us. We are the ones speaking. Next time you find yourself in a situation, a friend is around who needs help, because it's actually something that God put in my heart. That women, abusive situation. They're afraid to step out because they don't have nowhere to go. You, this friend who is speaking, like, you're in this situation. Remember, next time where a person comes around, you have a shelter to give a friend. Give them a shelter. Help them. And don't open your mouth talking about them, because that's all the person needs. Yeah, don't go around, because that's what we need. The problem about our church is we are not just the church of the title of church. We're not doing the thing that the church is supposed to do. A church is supposed to be a refuge place for people, but you go in church, that's where they're talking about you. So be that person who will make that change. When you see a friend in help, put yourself in this situation. Remember this day, like, I have to be a friend who will shut up, who will help this person, because they need an outing. They need to be out. And they will not come to you because they probably know your character. You're not somebody who's supportive. You're not somebody who don't keep their mouth shut. You talk about people. They will be afraid. And in that situation, let's say, God forbid, they die. Or they stay in there, stuck. So let's be that friend. Let's be that support. Next time you see somebody around, offer help. It don't hurt. 2 weeks around, see if they can find a job. See if you can help them around, because the help start with us. Let's stop pointing a finger. Oh, there's no help this way. They don't have this way. You don't know them. Maybe where they are, they have nobody to help them. You be that help for them. That's my point. And then we have to be careful who is around us, because some friends are destiny friends to bring you to your destiny. Some friends are there to keep you in that situation that you're in. So pay attention to who is around you.
So you have to be careful to know who you allow into your circles. It's very important, because they can help you or they can destroy you. Thank you, Florence, for your submission. Yes, Ruby.
Yeah, I was saying that, sometimes too, you try to help people and then they end up going back to the same situation. And then you become a victim yourself. Now the person you try to help, the husband or whatever, is taking their anger and provocation to you. So in that case, you try to help from afar. Like, I will try to help you, like maybe find a woman's home or something, so I don't bring that into my own space, because I have my own family to protect. Because some domestic violent people are very, violent. So they might want to chase the person they see, they follow them, they see where they're going, and you become a victim as well. And you disrupt your whole household trying to help somebody, and then now you have a whole issue on your hand too. So I understand why people could be hesitant at times, but we can help, like, by helping them, direct them to, women's home, different type of programs that are out there to help domestic violence victims. So you could help not necessarily by sheltering them, but by leading them or showing them different programs and avenues that they can get help, so that way everybody is safe. You, the helper, is safe, and then also the victim is also safe as well.
Great. Okay, so we're rounding up. I want to ask us, what is life after leaving? Life after leaving. This especially is going to go to my sisters that have left abusive relationships, have left abusive marriages. What is life after leaving? Because to the abuser, well, they're sitting there just saying, I should leave. When I leave, what next? What is life after living? After leaving? Yeah, Nanaya.
Okay, so after leaving, to be very honest, it's not easy at first. Let me just put it out there. It's not easy at first. You will need support from your immediate family members, because I don't know how it works with other families, but most people don't care. But if you have your parents around and your siblings around, they can offer you support, because first of all, you are going out and then it's like you feel like the whole world is looking at you and you feel like you have failed. You feel like there's something wrong with you. That's why your marriage didn't work. That's the first feeling. You feel, sometimes you even feel like, wow, why didn't I stay there? What will my friends say? What will the church say? What will everybody say? So you need some kind of support. But after a while, and then don't forget to pray to God for strength. After a while, when you realize that marriage is not the ultimate prize in life, when you set your heart and your mind towards God, you realize that God is the ultimate and He's going to provide you the strength that you need to stand on your 2 feet. And then when you do that, you realize that it becomes easy afterwards. And then you continue to be under God's counsel and all the help that He's giving you. And then you realize that you have come out of something that you thought you could never come out of. And then amazingly, God provides you with everything that you need to be able to go on. But first and foremost, the reality is that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be one fanfare that you sit inside and go, no, it's not going to be easy. You just need to rely on God and then make sure that you are focused and you are true to yourself of what you want to do. And then you set your goals right and you set your priorities right. You know, when you come out of a marriage and then people think that you're vulnerable and you yourself, you feel vulnerable, that's where the enemy also is trying to get you to on that part. So you need to know that you have to give everything to God, seek God's counsel, and then pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to people around you, and make sure you are relying 100% on God on this one. Because human beings will fail you, no doubt. So that's what I gotta say.
Human beings will fail you, no doubt, but God always has you. So if you've been abused, if you've stepped out of an abusive relationship, you need to also work on yourself. You need to seek all the prayers, all the mental health evaluation. You need to do all that before, if you want to move in again, or before God opens another avenue for you, you need to work it out. You need to work on yourself, you know, and don't be limited. Some sisters think that I've got children. If I leave, who's going to look after them? Or they're going to call me born one, born two, whatever they call all those things, you know. So because of that, you're still in there. Because of what people will say, you're still in there, you know. So please think about yourself first. Feel good about yourself first. Sandra, so think about yourself first. You know, get your mental faculty right, get your sanity intact, and rely on God. I relied on God. It was even a time for me where I was closer to God than any other time in my life, you know, because I just wanted to just be with Him. And God worked on me. He worked on me miraculously, you know. And today I left, and today I am much, much better now. I am much better. I am excited. My sanity is back. I don't even have bitterness or anger or anything inside me, you know. God has made me better. So my sister, if you're in there and you think you're being battered and you don't know what to do, please, there is still life after you have left. Our sisters have left and are living. Do not sit in there and die. So please, our final advice to our fellow sisters, if you have anything to your fellow sister you want to say, the floor is opened.
Hi.
Hi.
If it's going to kill you, please leave. I'm a testimony. I'm a miracle. I left and I'm leaving. Anybody who will tell you that after you leave an abusive marriage, or if you divorce, you can't move on with life is a liar. You can actually do it and do it better. Please, I'm begging you. I'm down on my knees. When you see the sign, when you see that it's going to kill you, it's going to hurt you, It's going to destroy you. Just leave and pray to God. You will leave. If you want to get married again, you'll find somebody better. You will be in a better state of mind. Your finances will be okay. Everything will work out for you. Don't stay in abusive marriages because society is putting you there. Because your mother says, when you leave, I will be disgraced in front of my friends. Your mother is saving faces. Please, your life is way too more precious. Marriage is not an ultimate goal in life, I'm telling you. Marriage is not an ultimate. Marriage is good when you find somebody you love, somebody who adores you. But if it's not working, please leave.
Someone who brings the best out of you, you know.
Please leave. This particular topic is very sensitive to me because I know exactly what I'm talking about. Please leave if it's not working. Go work on yourself. God will open doors for you, greater doors. Sometimes we do not understand God. We do not understand God, but He alone understands what He's doing. Please don't die in marriage. It is not worth it. Please. For Barbie, what was the name of the lady that we're talking? Ruby, right? I would love to. Was it Ruby?
Ruth.
The Ruth, yeah. Okay.
Which one are you talking about? The lady that gave her testimony?
Yes, the lady. I would love to talk to her.
Yes.
I would love to talk to her.
Okay.
So
I'll send you her contact.
All right. So please.
Great.
Don't die in marriages, yeah? Your life is precious. Plus, you can find somebody who will make you so happy. Okay? I know.
Okay. So we want to close this discussion. It's been great. And we want to remind everyone that next week we have our sisters that are actually going to talk about their situation, their experience. They're going to share with us what they've been through, you know, and that is the first step, I believe, to coming out. That is what somebody also needs to hear. Relationship, because they are clueless, you know, they feel like they are the only ones in it. But I want to assure you that you're not the only one. We are here for you. We are here with you. You need to speak up. You have to speak up. My contact is 240-380-4060. 2+1 240-380-4060. You want to talk, you want to share your experience, please send us a message and we will get back to you. If you have challenges, we have the doctors, we have the lawyers, we have the psychiatrists, we have people within our circles that can support ourselves. So please do not suffer in vain. Let us know what you're going through and we will channel you to the right source. And please, as women, let's stop stigmatizing people. Let's support ourselves. I am all for women empowerment, but people shout women empowerment, but they are the same people that abuse. They're the same people that stigmatize. Stigmatization is even an abuse on its own, because that mental torture is something else. It has led people into their early graves. So please, let our sisters that are support ourselves, and let's know that God is still on his throne and God is concerned about every little detail of our lives. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you next Saturday, same time, God willing. Thank you so much. God bless you all for joining us.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.